Info Abuja. Let's talk.
The Current Affairs Show.
The economic times are different. Well, the times of the economy are different. Some say there's economic philosophy that applies to different times. Well, some say what we are experiencing is a situation where you're trying to recover what's the trend the economy is going on and simultaneously provide a means for people to stay around. Some say you're starting below the line. Whatever name or description for the economic situation around ourselves, people need to survive. And in the last 7 days or thereabouts, and in fact over the period of 6 months, it appears the president and alongside with the team are making headway. But say, why are you making headway in one direction? It is not the saving way would help a lot of Nigerians. Well, a few days ago, in fact, about 2 days ago, 15 million households are expected to beat from the distribution of 1,000 naira to be given over a period of 3 months. So we're looking at October, but December, to be given 12,000 naira, possibly aggregate that, start a business and find a means of living. Something that the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs is very convinced will sustain this. Meanwhile, in states at the state level, food items and other palliatives are being given by different governors to salvage the situation. Some governors have extended the period of, the palliatives given. They've had to do. One governor to go with 10,000 naira, and even extend the period over a 6 months for people to stay alive and be sustained. But this morning, yes, he had about what? 804 a new low in the exchange naira to $1, 84 naira to $1. But climbing up today is back to over 1,000. In fact, the figure looks like 1,060 naira to a US dollar. Times you would say. It also, because of this week, that you talk about loans to be borrowed, even though that's not a popular thing. Some say it's the same script that the former president Muhammadu Buhari used in terms of borrowing funds in order to sustain his administration's needs to keep Nigerians going. Well, while still in that conversation, there are talks about SUV bought for lawmakers, and people are completely displeased about that. And yet, the same week, we have the same numbers for around out, 26%. That would have to be where things stand. And essentially, a component of it of food items, price of some of the most ridiculous items that one will have said should never have moved. And they've moved extensively and creating that 26% figure. Now, for 24, the president is looking at 26 trillion naira budget. How will this budget be funded? Where will this money come from? And how will it be done differently? Are we borrowing externally? Are there places to those sets of funding internally? Where are the generating agencies? Where will this money be used? And can they be used? Essentially, the question of the day. How to transform the economy to make a difference. But one thing is of interest. The Minister of Information has also said the President, Bola Tinubu, is not interested in saving Nigerians, is interested in very clear and truthful about the direction of things. Even though he may be sized, he will still communicate things are. In fact, listen, the Minister of Information said recently that need to communicate information accurately to Nigerians about situation of things.
This morning Crossfire.
The national heads of the ministry, all the 8 agencies under the Ministry of Information and National Orientation. And I went to charge them with the responsibility that Mr. President has given us, research that sector to make it so that once again we have a very vibrant Ministry of Information and National Orientation.
Regarding national orientation, a lot of issues on the ground. What particularly are you new idea you're trying to inject into to shore up?
Well, of course, they live in the concept of nationhood and patriotism broken down in this country. This is not in that. We're trying to build that, to reconstruct that. With Mr. President has given me a marching order to see that Nigerians be in this country once again. And we are coming up with a national discourse, orientation and reorientation, as you will see, so Nigerians can believe in their country. I know that people don't believe even in leaders that they themselves have elected. Flags are not flying anymore. You go to government offices, you don't even see the whole of our collective existence, even in public buildings. We're about. We are bringing back this concept of that Nigerians should have patriotism, believe in who that our founding fathers have told us. So it's going to be a new Ministry of National Orientation, and National Orientation is going to be at the center of it. You know that already National Orientation Agency has offices in the 74 local government areas. Of course, there's attrition. Not all the people that run these local government offices are there. But we are rebuilding that. We are going to, officers of the NOA, all the 774 local areas, as you have said. And we're coming up with a map that will revamp that sector, that Nigerians can believe in their country once again.
This is Morning Crossfire.
That is being looked at. You know that Mr. President believes in freedom, believes in the freedom of expression, and he's not back the press in any way, shape, or form. He's going to work seriously to ensure that the Nigerian press that has been living freer. But like I said all the time, this freedom also comes with enormous responsibility. You can't just say what right because you say you are enjoying press freedom. There will be freedom, but it's responsible freedom. It's in the works. I've discussed that with the president. He wants to see me come up with a roadmap for that. We want to work on that, and in due course, you get to have definite answers on that very soon. Well, you know that this is a very delicate line to toe. Government and Mr. President, all of us in that sector are committed to ensuring that there's press freedom. That freedom, like I said, responsibility. A lot of things that some of these people in the social media are doing is also not very patriotic. Sometimes you say news that is not fact, but I don't want a situation where it will be seen that government is trying to gag. I want that to be underscored. There's no attempt by government to gag the press. We're going to do what it takes that is responsible, that accountable.
This is Morning Crossfire.
All right, that's the Minister of Information confirming the perspective and view would follow through to keep things going with this ministry. Well, when you come back from the break, let's take on your calls. Also listen to the Minister of FCT on the issue of no strike on the hips. Really keen on this. Find out next as it happens, as we share with you right here on Nigeria Info Morning Choir. I'm Femi MLA. I'll be back. Stay with me.
The takes of our nation.
They have that right to protest. There is no need to go there now start shooting.
The current affairs of our state.
Everywhere we have gone to, the dirt of Abuja is not on the surface.
All at your fingertips on your Let's Talk station.
95.1 Nigeria.
Nothing breaks the news like the news. Trust me, improve it. I do it every morning on Morning Crossfire from 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. on Nigeria Info 95.1, and I'm Femi MLA. Join the biggest conversation around the national politics every day. The leader is trustworthy, full of passion, and yes, covers the biggest politics and stories that matter to you. See, you have all the reasons to find out what's going on in Nigeria and be engaged differently. Let's talk. That's the way to go, even this morning.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
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 This is Nigeria Info.
Info.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria 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 Info.
Audio Jungle.
This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
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 This is Nigeria Info.